So over here we have some sand. This represents all the optional stuff that we can do with our time. Things like entertainment, our pings on social media, maybe watching the football game. We have these pebbles, and they represent all the things that we kind of have to do with our time, like going to work. Somebody's got to take care of the house and do the laundry, so we have clean clothes of strength to put on. Maybe taking the kids to school. And then we have these bigger stones. These are all the things that are super important to us, like our family or maybe our health. And the big stone is Jesus, our cornerstone. And most of the time, our life just kind of happens to us if we don't set a standard. And all of these things come up, and they start filling up our time. And the glass jar represents our time. We only have so much. So all those things happen, and then all the day-to-day whirlwind things that we have to do, like our job. And then we try to fit in these other things that are really important to us, like I want to get in shape this year, so I'm going to put a workout in. I want to date my spouse. I want to visit my grandparents. Oh, and you can't forget Jesus. I want to squeeze him in there too. And before you know it, it gets really full, and you feel pressed, like, I cannot fit anything else in my life. Or you can set a standard and say, Jesus, I'm going to put you first in my time. You're my cornerstone. You're my firm foundation. You're my source of strength. I'm going to put you first before I check Facebook. I'm going to come to church on Sunday and spend time in your house. I'm going to join a Hope group because I know you want me to be in community. I'm going to take my kids to Hope Youth. So we put Jesus in there, and then we put all the other things that are important to us, like our family and our health and family dinners. And then we add in the things that we need to do, like go to work and cook dinner and do our laundry and buy groceries and all the things that keep our lives going. And lastly, we put in the optional things, the entertainment, the fun things, all the day-to-day things that we spend time on. And it's the same amount of things, but when you put Jesus first and he's your foundation, you actually have more time because it's in the right order. He's the one who holds it all together. Maybe Jesus is your foundation when it comes to time, but you need strength in another area, so you need to apply this somewhere else. Maybe you need strength emotionally. How can I expect freedom if I won't embrace forgiveness? Well, Pastor, you don't know what she did to me. You don't know how he took my innocence. I'm really sorry for how they hurt you, but you're letting them hold you in a prison of unforgiveness because you won't set yourself free. Jesus keeps on forgiving. He set the standard. If you trusted in him, he's forgiven you of everything your entire life. How can I expect God to bless me with abundance and strengthen my finances if I don't have a standard of stewardship? Am I trusting God with my tithes that he said actually belong to him? Or am I keeping the blessed part in my house instead of taking it to the house of the Lord? Set a standard and watch God throw open the floodgates of heaven. You won't have room to store what he's trusting you with. Or maybe, how can I expect stability and strength in my relationships if I don't have a standard of integrity? God gave everything to have a relationship with you. You're worth everything. Don't settle. Is that person you're dating helping you press on to the upward call of Jesus? Or are they pulling you away from his bride, the church? If they're not calling you to higher, they're bringing you down. If any relationship is asking you to compromise your standards, they're asking you to compromise your strength. Don't do it. Don't give up your strength, Samson, because of some hottie with a body named Delilah. Or how can I be a strong leader if I don't embrace the sacrifice influence requires? I want to make an impact. Jesus says if you want to be great, serve people. Join a volunteer team. Put other people before yourself. In the kingdom of heaven, the last is first and the first is last. Jesus was the greatest leader of all time, and he came not to be served, but to serve. Set a standard for yourself. Or how can I be a strong parent if I won't show my kids what it means to follow Jesus in my own life? Is it the standard in your house to go to church every Sunday, or do your kids have to ask? Well, I don't want my kids to feel forced to go to church. You guys, you make them go to school every day. Why is that? Because we want them to succeed, right? Setting them up with a spiritual foundation is way more important. And how they perceive church depends on how you present it. Our Hope Kids classes, they're amazing. There's no better place you could take your kids on a Sunday morning, or all week for that matter. My kids freaking love our Legends class. They ask me every day, is it Sunday yet? That's because we have a standard in our home that today's the best day of the week because we get to go to Hope Church. By the way, your kids are craving standards. Standards create stability. That's a bonus point for you. They have way more fun in a fenced-in yard where they know their boundaries than a wide open field where they have to find the boundaries. Don't make them come up with their own blueprint when you've been giving an amazing blueprint from Jesus. God's standards work. Let's be wise people of hope who apply what he says, not just hear him and go out of here in the same strength that we came in. Let's set the standard for the world around us. We don't have to figure it all out on our own. Jesus has been around since the beginning, from age to age, and he's our source of ×2 strength. Today's the day to raise up his standards in our lives. Today's the day to start using his blueprints to build a lasting legacy. Today's the day to trust in him alone as our foundation, to live in a different direction this year, to live on a path to success, and to do something with what we hear